Welcome to a new training video on Skolera Teacher Interface. In our video today, we will cover how we as teachers can send material to our students, material explaining the different topics or lessons through content, and also how to create our lesson plans, which are only accessible and visible by our supervisors and our colleagues. To do this, once we've logged into Skolera, from the navigation menu on the side, we can choose the course that we want to work with. Let's go to Science Year 9, for example. And from here, we can start by adding our content. Okay. Now, to add new content, we have the button called Add New Content. It's straightforward and very simple. You click on Add New Content. You start by writing a content name. Okay, let me remove this to the side here. We'll just call this content for now. Okay, you can choose where to place this content. Remember, this content is explanation of topics. It could be something general related to the whole curriculum. In this case, you can leave it under general, or it could be something related to a particular lesson, in which case we will select the lesson. Let's say it goes under topic 5. In topic 5, we have unit 1 and 2. It's under unit 1. Unit 1 has multiple lessons, but this goes under lesson 12. Then you decide which classes you want to send it to. Now, this is a very important and neat trick, because if you're teaching 2 classes, you do not have to repeat your work. You can just do your work once and assign it to both classes at the same time. This way, you don't have to go over again and do the same thing. You also select the publish date. When do you want this content to appear to students? If you leave it at now, that means that immediately as you complete, it will be shown to the students, they will be notified about it, students and their parents will be notified, and so on. Or alternatively, okay, you can choose later and select a later date. You choose the day that you want. The content will then be published to the students on the midnight of that particular day. Okay? After that, you can then move on to the next step. Here is where we start creating the content. We have so many different ways of doing this. The first and the simplest, if I don't have anything prepared whatsoever, I can just start by writing my content. Write whatever you like. You also have a set of formatting tools which you can use to format this content, highlighting, changing fonts, underlining, increasing size of fonts, doing all of these different things. Another alternative is to actually copy something from a document that you already have. If you have something already written, let's say in Word document or anything like that, you can just copy the text from there and paste it right here. Quite often, we use images and videos as well in our content. To do that, if you want to add an image, you just go to this icon right here, click on the icon, and it will give you 2 options. Either to upload an image, which means you will select an image from your computer to be uploaded, or you can go to the general one, and that's adding an image from the internet. The most important thing, whenever we're adding anything from the internet, make sure that you copy the URL from the very beginning, including the HTTP or HTTPS at the beginning of the address or the link to that item. So when we do that, and if you put it up here, then it will automatically be uploaded and added. The same thing we can do also with videos, and I think a lot of us use videos from the internet, especially from YouTube or Vimeo or so on, to empower our students with the explanations. So let's say we will go here to YouTube. Okay, we will go to youtube.com. Right. That will take us to the YouTube page. Now you need to just search for the video that you want. So let's say I'm looking for a video that's talking about let's for example go for the alphabet song. There it is. You search for the video for the alphabet song. You choose the video that you like, whichever video you want. This is one video here which is around an hour. Now when you click on that video and then either copy link URL, or in some browsers it will say copy link address, either one of those 2, you copy the link, then you go back to Skolera Okay. And that's for our content right here. Okay, and we had selected topic 2, and we said we're going to send it to both our classes. Right. Now, when you go to this icon, when you click on the video right here, you can import or add the source. The link that we copied, you just paste this link and click on OK. The entire video will be placed in the content. Now, the beauty of this is that you can add multiple videos. It takes zero time, it takes very little time because you're not actually moving the entire video, it's just being embedded, which also means that the students do not have to download this video, they don't even have to go to YouTube at all, they can watch the video directly within the platform. Now on top of this, sometimes we have our own files that we want to send to the students, whether these files are documents, PDF files, PowerPoint presentations, audio files, or even videos. And to do this, you just click on Upload File. That will open the browser for you to select a file from your computer or from your device. Once you've selected that file, it will be added up here. Now, because we know that sometimes you have your own videos and you want to share these with the students, each time for each content that we've created, you can add 5 files. Each single file is about 2 gigabytes, which is quite a substantial size, 4 files. On top of that, if you already have files stored and added in your e-library, which we'll see in a minute, you can actually choose files from your e-library as well to include in here. Once we've done this and added all what we needed, you can just click on Create, and the content will be created for you. Now to see this very same content, we can go back to Content, select Topic 2, which is where we added our content, and you will find it right here. Okay. You can see the content. Several content can be added under the same lesson or the same topic right there. To open the content and see its details, you just have to open it from there and it will show it with the videos as we mentioned. You can see the videos inside it right there. Now the other thing we can also do from content is creating our lesson plans. We can do this by selecting the topic, the lesson that we want to create the lesson plan for, and we click on the lesson. It will bring us to the details page, which shows the lesson name, details about the lesson, and the content that we've added for this lesson. But we also have a tab for plans. Here we have 2 options. You can either upload the plan. So if you have something already written in Word, document, PowerPoint, or PDF format, you can just upload this plan directly. Or you can create a lesson plan on the template that's found already on the system. You select the course group, you select the lesson. It's already there. You can adjust and rename this lesson, so you can call it part 1, part 2, or so on. Select the date on which this will take place. Okay. The duration of the lesson, how long is our lesson? Let's say it's 40 minutes. The period, which period of the day? Is the first period, second period, third period of the day? Let's say this is going to be on the third period of that day. The lesson objectives. These are the objectives that are already found in the course plan. We've created these already in the course plan. So you can select them. You could have 1 or more objectives that you will cover during this lesson. You can also add new objectives. Let's say I want to cover something from last year so that the students would grasp and understand this lesson better. In this case, you can just add this new objective right there. The Bloom's taxonomy, although it's not required, but it's very useful to actually know the cognitive level that we will reach or the students will reach during this lesson. So you can add them up right there. Same thing with the 21st century skills. What skills will our children use during this lesson and gain? Materials covered. What are the learning support material that we will use? Let's say if I'm explaining something, if I'm using, of course, flashcards, for example, for younger students, you can write flashcards. You might be using a clay model. You might be using an artifact of some sort to show to the students and let them handle it and maybe explain and work with it and so on. You can also add the teaching strategies. How am I planning to teach this lesson? The lesson is made up of a number of activities. So how I'm going to teach each activity? Is it one-on-one? Is it independent, modeling, pairs? Are they going to work in groups? The whole class will discuss something together? All of these different ways. And then finally, vocab. What are the new words that the students will learn during this lesson? Now, it's impossible actually for students to come into the class for a whole lesson and do not end up with at least one new word. So you write the new words that they will gain and here in here. Then, what am I going to do during the 40 lessons, the 40 minutes that I have in the lesson? You start off with the introduction and you write down what you're going to do in the introduction, how long you're going to do that for, okay? And if you're using files, let's say like an image or anything like that, you can upload the file, the image, or even a Word document or a PDF file. You can put a link for a website or a video on the internet that you will use during the warm-up or during the introduction. Then after that, the different main activities of the class, let's call this activity 1, and you would write down what you're going to do in this activity 1. Usually you will include how you're going to plan it, what the teaching strategy you're going to do, what is the cognitive level you will reach with this, and so on. Also the duration, how long you're going to do that for. Say you're going to do this for 10 minutes. And once again, you can add files or links to that. Quite often you might want to add new items. So I'm going to have more than one. So I will add a second item right here. If I don't want this, I can just remove it at any time. Then finally, the last thing we will add and put down is the summary. Sum up, the wrap up of the conclusion of the lesson, recapping on what you covered, the different things you did. So this is just really a recap section, right? Again, the duration, how long we're going to do that for, files and links if needed. What are the assignments you're going to give to the students? So you write down what assignments you will give them, okay, related to this lesson. How long it will take them to solve these assignments, right up there, and the uploading file again, or links. And finally, the last thing is the teacher's notes. This is an optional part, but it's a very important part. Either you can write here remarks and notes before the lesson. Let's say you have 6 or 7 activities and you say I'm going to select 3 or 4 of these activities for the students to work on. But even better, after the lesson, to evaluate the plan. You're not evaluating yourself. You're evaluating the plan that you put. Did that plan work? Did it actually have enough time to do all the things I wanted? Did I cover it correctly? Was the result what I expected from the students? If not, then you can actually add some adjustments. Maybe, for example, I had one activity which was relying on a one-on-one discussion with the students. This took too long of the lesson timing, and that wasn't enough to cover everything else. So I might want to change this into a group activity or pairs at least, or so on like that. Once you've done all this and you've wrote this whole thing, then you can click on Save. If I've added everything correctly, yes, you get the confirmation message here that it has been added successfully. So if we go back to our content once more, and I go back to topic 2, now you see that it tells me here that not only does it have the 3 content added, but there is also 1 plan added. When I click on the lesson, you'll find the content and you'll find the plan. This is the plan that we added. You can edit the plan, you can open the plan, create a copy, and then adjust it for a second class. Remember, when we created this plan, it was for a single class. But you can then adjust it for a second class, mainly for differentiation, maybe adding different things, and at least, if anything, if nothing else, to actually put the correct date, timing, and period, because you cannot be in 2 classes at the same time, although you might want to repeat the same thing exactly. You can also delete the whole plan if you don't want it at the end. So basically, all of this can be done from the content. So what we've seen today is how to create our content, how to manage the content, how to send it to more than 1 class at the same time, how to distribute it to children, decide when it will show up to the students, and also what we can add into this content. As we said, you can add different files, you can add Word documents, you can add videos, either from the internet or your own videos onto it, and so on. Plus, most importantly, also the lesson plans. Just a simple reminder, lesson plans are not visible by students or parents. They're just for you as teachers, plus for your supervisors to monitor and to follow up on that. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you in another video on Skolera.